I made a fake one.
How did I get into Power Rangers, and why do I love this brand so much? This is a question that I get asked all of the time. Now, I made a video a few years back breaking down at the time why I love Power Rangers, gave you the history, but today I wanted to get more in depth. Why do I love Power Rangers? How did I fall in love with it? And why do I keep supporting this brand? So first of all, we got to take you back to 1993. I was 2.5 years old when this show dropped, and I remember waking up at Saturday, it was like maybe 7, 8 in the morning, and watching this show, and watched the first episode, Day of the Dumpster, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever watched in my life. I remember I would piss my mom off because I would be, 2 or 3 trying to wake up super early to watch this show. Now, I was almost the perfect target audience for this because I was 2.5, like 3 years old, and I was still super young, but I was gonna grow with this brand. And they had no idea at the time that the fans were going to grow with it and grow up and be adults and still want to watch and collect and talk about Power Rangers. They had no idea this was coming. So when I was about 3 or 4, I can remember getting the figures, going out on like a Black Friday or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but one of the only memories I have of my dad is him taking me out to Kmart. And I was like 2 or 3 at the time, super young. And it was when they just got the first stock of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the little 12-inch figures, not the flip heads, but the bigger figures just came in from 1993, like the original figures. And I wanted the red one so bad, and they didn't have it. The red and blue were all sold out. The only ones that were left were yellow and black. And I got my boy Zach, and I had that figure forever. I still actually have not that figure, but I have a black Zach figure, and the box is in like pristine condition. I'm keeping that until I die, man. That thing might be worth some money because it's in really good condition. I know those original figures only sell for like 30, 50 bucks a piece, but hey, I'm hoping someday I'm gonna be sitting on a gold mine because I'll be the only one with one that's in really good condition. We'll see how that works. But back to the story. I was about 3 years old when the brand really just blew up. Now, it blew up right off the ripper. It was like the #1 kids show within like the first month or something. It took over. But it wasn't till, that halfway through the first season or the second season when it was a global phenomenon everywhere. Everywhere you went, this show was talked about, at least around kids, and the parents knew about it too because they were buying the stuff. I remember being super young and my mom showing me like the news, the 5 o'clock news on Fox, and they were saying that parents were trying to shut down Power Rangers because it was so violent. I know that it got banned in New Zealand, which is hilarious because now we film it there. But there was a huge controversy around Power Rangers, and I think that built the brand even more. It was talked about. And you tell a kid they can't watch or do something, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to watch and do that. And every single kid, at least in my area, wanted to be a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. There were so many little kids in preschool, the kindergarten, that there were 3 things us boys dressed up as that was like the common denominator. You at least saw this in every preschool, kindergarten class, everywhere. There was at least a couple Batman, a couple Spider-Man, and a couple green, blue, or red Rangers, okay? Everybody was rocking Power Rangers along with Batman and Spider-Man. That was their competition at the time, was like animated cartoons because no one really had a live action show like Power Rangers until about a year later, Saban tried hitting us with VR Troopers and Beetleborgs a few years later, Masked Rider, all that stuff. But Power Rangers seemed to be the one that consistently worked, and they had footage that they could actually use from Japan every single year. Now, the first few years of Mighty Morphin, we know that they had to ask Toei to give them more footage, but later in time they realized, hey, we can just do these one and done seasons. And that's when I started to get a little bit older and really could understand everything that's happening in the show. So Zeo, I was 5, and then we hit Turbo, I was 6, in Space I was 7, by Lost Galaxy I was 8, and I was fully into the show. I loved every single thing about it. I thought Leo was the coolest. I had a huge crush on Maya. And then we had Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I had the video game. And then Time Force hit and changed the game for me. I believe I was in the 5th grade. I was like around 10 years old when that show came out. And it was so good. I remember watching this show 5th grade thinking, yo, this is so good. This is way better than the last few seasons. This is incredible. And I had a lot of really good moments watching this show. And looking back on it, it was just something that was always on, but this was my comfort show, and I didn't even know it at the time. We never even, there was no such thing as a comfort show years ago, and now that term gets brought up. When I was down or didn't have nothing to do, I would watch Power Rangers, and this was something that was really just spoke to me. I would watch it every single day. Whenever a new episode came on, I was there. I was always trying to get toys. Now, we did not have a lot of money. It was basically just me and my mom. So, single parent income was not so good. And honestly, the only Megazord I ever got was when I won a contest. I sold enough candy bars in 2nd grade that I got like 3rd place in the candy bar selling contest. And they gave me like a $35 gift card to Toys R Us. Now, I want to say I was in like 2nd grade and all the in-space stuff was out. I wanted to get a Megazord. Well, I found out real quick, $35 is not going to afford a Megazord. Well, I found in the clearance section, they had, I believe it was called the Robo Racer from the Blue Centaurian. His Megazord was there on clearance for about $30.99 or $29.99 or something. And I was able to get that Megazord, and I loved that damn thing. It was my first Megazord I actually had. Whenever I played with any other Megazords, it was always someone else's. There was kids at the daycare I went to growing up that they would always bring their Megazords. And there was a lot of kids I went to daycare with that, like, their parents were lawyers, their parents were doctors and stuff. And they always brought the newest Megazords in, either if it was the Zeo or the Astro Mega Ship or the Lost Galaxy Megazord. We were always cutting it up and playing with those. But this was the first time I ever got my own, and I love that thing. I wish I had it. There were a lot of memories that kind of shaped me. And Forever Red, Wild Force, that year, I was getting a little bit older. I was in like 6th grade, but that was so cool. I remember it switched over to ABC Family. It used to be on Fox Kids, and then Disney bought it, and they put that on ABC Family with this lineup. And it was basically, for the first few years, it was like a Power Ranger channel. They were always playing like flashback episodes, and they were playing Mighty Morphin and Zeo, and it was a great time to be a Power Ranger fan in the early 2000s. Because ABC Family, they were really trying to tap into that boy market, because Disney Channel had the girls on lock. Don't get me wrong, like, boys still watch Disney Channel, but they had a lot more girls watching those Lizzie McGuire type shows than boys, even though I loved Lizzie McGuire. That was my jam. Anyways, Disney was trying to tap into the superhero market, and I felt like they didn't really care for Power Rangers like Saban did in the early years. But looking back, there were some really good seasons from Disney, Dino Thunder is arguably top 3 by everybody. Like, Dino Thunder is just freaking awesome. So yes, that was the time when I started to get a little bit older and I fell off from Power Rangers, but I still deep down loved the Power Rangers. Like, I was just getting into like high school, and you know, it wasn't cool to watch Power Rangers. That's a little kid show. You'd get made fun of. And this is a lesson for everybody out there. Maybe you're in high school, maybe you're a younger cat, junior high. If you're younger than me, or maybe just adults need to hear this too. Be yourself. Watch your goofy shows, watch your kid shows, watch your weird shows, because the people that will relate are the people that you want to be your friends or have that connection with. You don't want to lie to people, because then it will take you longer to find out who the real friends are. You know, if you act like you don't like any of that stuff, you're never gonna find people you have a common interest with, man. And you don't have to be weird to like Power Rangers. You can have a really good time and get into the brand and be a normal person, and quote unquote normal, because I think we're all weird in our own ways. But there was this stigma like maybe 15, 20 years ago of you've got to be just a weirdo to watch these kid shows. And no, dude, like what you like. I think anime help with that. You know, there's a lot of really good animes out there, and it's technically, you know, like a Japanese cartoon, but they've got heart. There's a lot of really good Japanese movies out there in the anime form, and that helped. Like whatever you like. It helped that Marvel's big now. DC's big now. Years ago, there was a girl that I tried to ask on a date, and she wanted to go to a movie. She was down, but she would not go to Transformers because she thought it was dumb. Oh, that's like a little kid movie. It was the first Transformers with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. And I knew what it was going to be, but the stigma was, oh, Transformers, that's some little kid movie. I don't want to go see that. And I didn't get to go see it. And I had to wait till it came out on DVD, and it blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, I freaking knew I should have saw this movie. This was lit. This was great. And everyone loved that first Transformers movie. It actually started a whole franchise. So yes, be yourself, man. Don't fall into the ways of everyone else wants you to live, or what you think you should live. If you're in college, you want to watch Power Rangers every once in a while, is all your stuff done at school? Cool. Get your stuff done and then do what you want to do, man. And that's how I am now. I grew with this brand, and at first, once I was older, I didn't really get into it. And once I had kids, I really got back into the old episodes, but I was having trouble getting into the new seasons. And I want to say I started to fully get back into it around Ninja Steel, and that season was really letting me down. It was more about the writing and how the season was planned out. I never give any crap to the actors or anything like that, but it was not a season that I could get into. I didn't really like it. I love the suits. I kind of like the cast members, but what they did to that show was not very good. And I honestly didn't know if I was going to cover Power Rangers like that. And then Hasbro took over, and I see this salute to the past, but also an innovation to the brand, trying new things, experimenting, but also taking what we did that was good and keeping those parts. But then the parts that we're having trouble with, we're switching it up, man. I love what Hasbro has done, and don't get me wrong, there's always some criticism. I've definitely had some criticism about their toy releases for Dino Fury, but I think what they have done with the actual shows since they've received them have been nothing short of amazing for what they are giving. Yes, everything can always get better. I'm not saying that Beast Morphers or Dino Fury are the best seasons of all time, but Dino Fury, I believe, has an argument to be top 3, and Beast Morphers has an argument to be top 10. Now, if you can give me a top 3 and a top 10 season in your first 2 seasons that you actually worked on, you're doing something good. They're in the right direction. And I think it's 50% making something new and developing new characters and getting people excited for these characters, but also the callbacks to past seasons and making sense of old things that we never really got closure for, like the Green Morphin Master connecting all of those points in Dino Fury was nothing short of fantastic. I love what they are doing, and I always wanted to make a video like this now that, Hasbro is succeeding. And so, long story short, I watched Power Rangers. It was a comfort show. I had a little bit of childhood trauma, but overall, Power Rangers just comfort me when I needed it. Didn't have a father figure in my life, so a lot of these guys like Tommy, Billy, Jason, Zach, Adam, Rocky, they were like a big brother figure to me, even though I didn't know them. I was talking to them and listening to these men more than I had other men in my life. If you think about it, man, it was kind of weird. But that's what I had to go off of. And these guys inspired millions of people. I know there was a few haters like making fun of people mourning the death of JDF, but at the end of the day, this guy inspired millions of people more than a basketball player can, more than a rapper can, because he was reaching millions of children across the entire world. And these children end up growing up and bringing that into their real life, man. This guy has inspired generation after generation. And it's not just a song here. It's not just 5-6 years of being good at a sport. We're talking seasons and seasons and episodes of coming back and inspiring generations, man. So we give it up. We thank the Rangers. And when it came to growing up, I got out of Power Rangers for a little bit, but I came back, and I came back strong when Hasbro took over, someone that actually cared about the brand. It felt like Saban the last few years. They cared about it, but they didn't know what to do with it anymore. And so it was making them not care in certain situations. What Hasbro's doing is awesome. There's always room to improve, but I really love it. And this is why I love Power Rangers, guys. It's been with me since I was a kid. I watched it grow, and now there's someone that gives a crap about it and is going to move it in the right direction. What are your thoughts? How did you get into Power Rangers, and why do you love this brand? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this content. We love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members Dead Echo X-Ray, Anime King Nick, Austin White, Chaos Draco, the Arctic Operator, and Thomas Franco. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you want shout outs at the end of my videos like this one, become a Gold Ranger member today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. You can also become a member. Please join the fan club support team right now. We have a Blue Ranger power-up and a Gold Ranger power-up. This is an awesome way to talk with the fans. Join a fan club official chat group. You can also be featured in our videos. At the end of the videos, I will shout you out. That's if you get the Gold Ranger Power-Up membership. Go check it out. Go support the fan club. We love you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.